Honorable Men Discord. Neo has 4 wives. He can afford it. Let's talk about it. Let's get straight to it. I mean, I'll be honest with you, this was not the topic I was going to cover. But while at work, I took a lunch break. And as I'm going through my phone, I came across a reel. And I said, wait a minute. So what am I looking at? I had to watch it like 2 or 3 times. And this is the wheel. I'm sorry, this is the reel that I came across. I'm gonna show it to you one more time. All right, so that's the reel that I came across. And then as I continued looking through different videos in the feed, I came across another one. Not that. This one. So there you have it. So the first one is what I came across on my lunch break. And as I continued looking, I came across that second one. And I said, wait a minute, 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 wait a minute. 4? Hence the title of this video. So, disclaimer, I'm just reporting. Don't come for me. Do not come for me. I'm just reporting. Neo, whose real name is Schaefer Chimere Smith, born on October 18th, 1979. Professionally known as Neo, is an American singer and songwriter. So we know who Neo is. I just had to put that out there. So his real name is Schaefer Chimere Smith. Now he was, well, first of all, I believe it's reported he has 7 children in total. Let me see if it mentions his children somewhere in here. Let me see. I believe he has 7 children, but that's not what we're here to talk about. Just know that he has children, and he was recently, well, at some point in time, I don't know how recent it was. I believe it was, let me see, I think it shows like it's 5 days ago. How many days ago? Okay, it doesn't show how many days ago he was on the Ricky Smiley show, but he actually speaks on how he explains this to his children. Now, we'll get there. We'll get there. But let me just, for those of you who don't know what type of relationship this is called a polyamorous relationship, better known as polyamory. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. It says it's a consensual relationship style where people have more than one romantic or sexual partner at a time. It is a form of non-monogamy, which means all partners are aware and agree to the agreement. How it works. Polyamory can include people of any sexual orientation. Polyamorous relationships are based on trust, respect, and honesty. Ideally, partners accept each other's partners as part of their life. And it says, why do people choose polyamory? It's to have a deeper emotional connection, or connections, I should say, to have more autonomy in their lives, and to fulfill needs that might not be met in monogamous relationships. Challenges: polyamorous people may face judgment, discrimination, or social stigma. They may have trouble finding role models, resources, or legal recognition for their relationships. Polyamorous marriages are not recognized in the U.S. However, some cities in the U.S. allow for domestic partnership recognition of polyamorous relationships. All right. So there you have the education on what it is that Neo is embarking on. And let's get straight to it. This is Neo, in credit to the Ricky Smiley show, the Ricky Smiley morning show. This is him speaking on his current relationships.
but now Neil, and we love you dearly, and you said that's the song you sing with your bride. Well, now Neil,
Yes.
now your relationship has been in the spotlight a lot lately. Now I don't know if you're gonna have one, two, or three brides, honey. But anyway, let's talk about just this love.
Said four.
Tell him, Neil. Oh, Neil. Tell him. So Neil, how do you juggle multiple women at one time? Because I tried that, honey, and it didn't work.
Well,
No, but not-
it's not about
not that way.
juggling. It ain't about juggling. You know, the key ingredient to making it work is honesty. Everybody got to be telling the truth. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but and I saw Slim Thug said that you're a king, honey. You a king. You could do all that stuff. I mean, but being honest, so but those women, Neil, I saw when you was backstage, are they triplets? Or are they just three different women?
No, it's three. Well, there's four of them total. It was just three there that was there that particular night. But yeah, man, it's listen, it works. It works.
Yeah.
It works. Everybody's honest. Everybody telling the truth. Everybody is consenting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I wasted a lot of time just being dishonest about things to the point where had I taken this approach initially, probably could have saved myself a lot of headache and heartache. You know what I
You
mean?
need to put a statue of you up in your hometown. All the men that go and worship. All the men that go once a month.
Fellas, by all means, in the comments, does this work? And in all honesty, I mean, I think this comes down to if you subscribe to a religion or you do not subscribe to a religion. I know as a Christian, it never says you can have more than one wife. But outside of that, if you don't subscribe to a religion, what do you all think about this so far? Let me let Neo continue.
Bow down to it.
Yeah.
Boy, if I could have pulled this off 30 years ago. Good God. I'm trying not to say nothing because she might be listening, but damn it. Your birthday need to be a national holiday. When is your birthday, man? For all the damn players out here, when your birthday? Yeah. We need that day off.
Yeah, but y'all see that you
Well,
say
let me say this. Religion aside, and by all means, this question I'm about to ask applies to men and women. Although this is a predominantly men's channel, but I don't exclude the women. This relationship that Neo has, 4 consenting women, they're aware of each other, obviously. I don't know whether or not they all live together or not, but they all are aware of each other. This question now is for both men and women. This versus Neo talking to all 4 women without them knowing about each other. Which one is better? That's my first question. I'll have a second question in a few. Let's continue.
that stuff, though, but the question is, though, Neil, can they date somebody else, or they gotta wait for you to come off
Everybody
stage?
got to be
Oh
honest.
no, absolutely not. So here's the thing. I don't ask anybody for exclusivity. I don't even make that a requirement. I don't make that. But if you offer it, then it's mine. If you offer it and I accept it, then it's mine. Which means that you have decided that I'm the only person that you're gonna deal with. And if
All right, he's taking it a whole nother level. He's a real diplomat with this one. Okay, so basically what he's saying, he has 4, but he's not asking any one of them for exclusivity, right? Which is a very diplomatic move. I think in 2025 it may be the only move. I mean, some men could pull that off where it's 4 of them and the 4 of them understand it's just him, right? What Neo was saying is there's 4 and they're basically free to do as they please. He's claiming the 4 of them. They're aware of the 4, but each one of them are able to, I guess, talk to someone else. I think it's crazy. Now, some people might say, well, which part is crazy? I know some people are already waiting for my opinion on this. Some people say, well, it's crazy from the beginning. What he's saying is he is extremely crazy, extremely dangerous, in my opinion, because there's a such thing as there's a such thing out there called disease. Disease is, and very dangerous game he's playing. But let him continue.
Decision that you've made, and I accept. Then that's where we at. That's how it
That's
works.
cute.
The biggest pimp alive, boy.
It
no
ain't
pimp.
nothing like that. No.
Neo
because
ain't no pimp.
I ain't manipulating nobody. I ain't brainwashed nobody. I ain't lying to nobody. Again, I set it out there. Here's what it is. I like you, but I also like her, and her, and her. If you cool with that, come on. We gonna have a great time. If you not,
I tried that deal. I
go
got
about
put
your
out.
business and be straight.
Man,
Special K.
yeah.
They need to put his picture in between Obama and Clinton.
Well,
Money. We need to come up with like a $3 bill.
Yeah, like there you go.
A $4 bill.
$4 bill. Face on it.
Hey, Neo, man.
But you know what, Neo? I will say that, as a woman, someone who's married to one man, I don't necessarily agree with that lifestyle, but I do commend you for living in your truth because, we live our own lives and we have to live with our choices and we have to be happy. So
Exactly.
I think it's, a testament to what works for you.
And that's the main thing. Please understand that I'm not in here saying that everybody should try what I'm trying to do what I'm doing. I'm telling y'all what works for me. I'm showing y'all what works for me. And
Right.
if you agree, cool. If you don't, cool. You know what I'm saying? Either way you slice it, I'm happier than I've ever been. I'm more zen than I've ever been, and that's what it is. That's the important part. I don't need everybody to agree. You know what I'm saying? This is I ain't doing it for y'all. So if you agree, disagree, that's you.
Preach.
Do your kids have questions about that? About your relationship?
Of course they do, and I answer them. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Honesty. Again, I'm not lying to nobody, not even my children. Hey, this is daddy's girlfriend, and so is that, and so is that, and so is that.
You got no problem.
And she gonna make you some cereal, and she gonna cook lunch, and she gonna wash your clothes, and it's all good.
so just to be clear out there, there's men that while dating, they make it known that listen, I'm dating. And then the women may ask, well, what does that mean? And the guys will reply, well, I'm enjoying your company right now, but I'm also talking to other women. So there's guys that put that out there from the first date, from the initial sit down, right? And the only difference between that and what Neo's doing is that most of the time the guy puts that out there, but it's not like these women know who each other are. They just know that that guy that they're talking to has others, but they don't know the names of the other women. They've never seen them, and they certainly don't live in the same household. So what he's doing is not that revolutionary. It's not that foreign. All right. So, but he's doing it on a public stage, so to speak. And I mean, I guess just like the woman just said, I can respect his honesty. But let's continue.
It's family, it's community.
Or you
That's
need
what
your
it's
own
about.
book in the Bible, right? Corinthians and Ezekiel.
You say
Right between Corinthians and Ezekiel, they need the book of Neo.
Well, anyway, Neo, changing gears, honey. Let's change gears.
Yeah.
So, Neo, you have an impeccable pen game. So now we talked about your songwriting earlier now. So is there one artist, just one, that you really want to write a song for?
You know what? We spoke about it before, and for whatever reason, situation, and circumstance.
Now he's talking about music. I don't want to get into his career with the music, although I do think he's a good artist. I just want to stick to the script on this one because as I mentioned, this was not going to be the topic that I was going to cover, but when I came across it on my lunch break, I said no. I switched gears right away because I really want to hear from everybody who's watching this video. What is your thoughts on Neo doing this? Because, to be honest with you, there's many versions of this. You could be in a situation, and right now I'm speaking about obviously wealthy people. All right, I'm gonna I'm gonna cover those that are not wealthy, but for the wealthy, Neo is one example. You have Nick Cannon, who's like impregnating the world. Uh, right? So I'm sure those women are aware of the fact that he has other women. I don't know if those women know the other women's names, but he's making a bunch of babies. He's not apologetic about it either, but he's being honest. He's in his truth, like Neo's in his truth. So there's versions of that. So women living in different places with Nick Cannon's children, and he obviously has the money to cover it. So he's just impregnating every woman that he finds attractive, and that's one version. Obviously, Neo is another version, of living in his truth. Then you have the guys who run with the dating line. They're dating, and they stay true to that. At least they're not saying they're exclusive, but they say they're dating, and there's women that are there for that, and so those women stick around knowing that they are not the only one. They may they might fight to try to eventually win that guy over, but that guy pretty much sticks to his guns and says, I'm just dating, I'm not there yet, and that's I would say that's a third version. That's a third version of it. And a fourth version is the guy is out there saying he's not with anyone, but he's with someone, and he's dating multiple people, and that's the fourth version. And sometimes within that fourth version, women get pregnant, and then it becomes a mess. It becomes a mess. We know how that story goes. And I guess a fifth version would be the guy who dates multiple women, impregnates them, and disappears. Right? But I guess that could also be part of the fourth. But you understand what I'm saying. The question is how do you all feel about what Neo's doing? How do you feel about what Nick Cannon's doing? What's your thoughts on it? Do you appreciate the honesty from Neo? Do you appreciate the honesty from Nick Cannon? They're just upfront about how they're living their lives. I know this episode is about Neo, but it's, how do you feel about that? Especially when it involves entertainers and athletes, people that are well off financially, that could afford to take care of the children. Because then it's not a matter of, when I say children, obviously I'm talking about Nick Cannon, who's with several women, making babies with these women. Neo hasn't mentioned wanting to have babies with the four women that he's with, but he does have, I believe, 7 children right now. But how do you feel about a man who decides to be upfront and honest whilst with women, and he has the financial backing to take care of whatever happens? So take care of the women in general, take care of if they should have children, if they should become pregnant. How do you feel about that? Obviously now, if we're talking about men that are not in the positions of Neo or Nick Cannon, it's a different story, because then it also comes down to, can you provide for more than one person? Can you provide for if more than one person should become pregnant? So there's a lot of layers to it, and then obviously the other layer is whether or not you subscribe to a religion or not, and what's your religious belief. What does it say as far as multiple wives? So those things matter. If you don't subscribe to a religion, then that's a different story. Obviously you're not going to care what any religious text says, and that's understandable. But if you do subscribe to a religion, that complicates things dearly. But that's it. I mean, this episode really comes down to whether or not there's feedback in the comment and how you guys feel about this. I mean, this is about Neo, so I'm not here to say whether or not he's right or wrong. He's speaking his truth, so I can't say there's anything wrong about it, because it's not like he's hiding. It's not like he's dating 4 women and paparazzi is catching him in a car with a different woman, or paparazzi is catching him, out to eat with someone that he shouldn't be having dinner with. He's up front, so there's no mystery to what he's doing. And if a fifth woman should come into the picture, I'm pretty sure he'd have no problem saying, yeah, it's up to 5 now. But at the moment, and at the recording of this video, it's 4. So I guess we'll have to see how this plays out in the next few weeks, months, and and see if it just remains 4. But again, this episode really comes down to the feedback that I received from you all and how you feel about it. How I feel about it is irrelevant, because Neo's grown, Neo's well off, and he can afford to. That's why the title is He Can Afford It, right? He can afford it. So that's all I have for today. And as always, I appreciate all of you for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe, share the video by all means. And I appreciate all of you, and I'll see you on the next episode. Take care.